Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into our runners game tonight, which seems to be the only game we're actually playing on any sort of a regular basis these days. But that aside, I'm going to kick it over to Jesse, let him give us a recap, and we'll jump into it.
All right. So last time we were with our runners, they had come back to town after discovering Zuchy's long lost brother Brock out in the ether. Gone back, snuck him inside thanks to a distraction from Smokey. Got him seen by Miss Joanna. Got him taken care of. He's kind of settled down. Smokey was at Marla's bar when he got a mysterious text from an unknown number, which happened to be Briston. He just hadn't actually put the number in his phone, and telling him like trouble's on the way, get out. They get out as just as security is bashing down the door. Him and Marla hightail it. They sneak into the headquarters, into the barracks. Everybody meets up. And we kind of realize that a lot of the people that have connections to Zane are now wanted. There's bulletins out keeping people alert for them. The whole knoll is on high alert right now. And the big kind of hitch in the gears at the moment is that Marla does not have the medication that the group went to Zane to get for her. And without that, there's a pretty high likelihood that because of the facility that she came from, that she will become connected to the network, to Anne. So they're kind of in scramble mode at the moment, with Smokey about to head back to the bar in order to try to sneak in and get the medication. Zuchy is taking Marla back to the shed where Brock is being laid down right now, trying to kind of keep them low. And Huxley is going to go check in with Briston, both as a debrief after their last run, and also to figure out, like, hey, why'd you text Smokey about, like, staying out of trouble? And how did you know he was in trouble? So we have a few different irons in the fire, and we're going to see how those work out, if anybody gets burnt. So we're going to go ahead and start, because we're pretty much right near the facility now anyway. So we'll go proximity wise and start with Huxley.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say, while you were doing your thing, we might be in a MASH type situation where Smokey's going to have to suffocate her so when we can't find the medication. It's a good thing she's with him and not me. Oh no, she's with Zuchy.
She's with Zuchy.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Who clearly has shown that he will go to many lengths to keep his friends and family safe.
Okay, she's with the right person.
Is she? I guess it's your point of view. That's so we're gonna kind of we're gonna work our way out a little bit. And so you guys are in the cafeteria. You go all hands in, break. Smokey takes off. Zuchy and Marla take off, and Huxley is now left sitting in the cafeteria, getting up the gumption to head and talk to Tristan all by his lonesome.
Yeah, so he kind of collects himself, kind of, is using his fingers, kind of like, okay, we gotta see about the message, find out what's going on, and yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna go. Like he's giving himself the pep talk, and then heads down towards Briston's office.
Sounds good. So you're going to the office collective where there's
Mhm.
just a bunch of desks haphazardly strewn around wherever people can set them up. So yeah, you go in there and from across the room you can see Briston kind of hunched over his desk at a data pad going over some, I don't know, weird numbers, whatever he sees.
Is there anyone else around?
Yeah, there's a few other people in the room. A few other trainers sitting at their desks as well. And in the moment, there's one other group of runners that look to be finishing up with their trainer. Either getting ready for a run or just come back from one. And they kind of all shake hands and get up and walk away. Just as you're coming in, they're getting up and walking out.
Okay.
They
I
give you
think
the
on
runner nod.
Yeah, I think like on most days he just would have been like, "Hey, Mr. Briston," like from across the room, but he's trying to
Yeah.
be like focused. So he
Yep.
like, also kind of, gives him an awkward nod and just sort of makes a beeline for like right in front of Briston's desk, like, you know, waist against the desk, like super close.
Yep. And he senses your presence as you come up to the desk, and his head kind of snaps up. And he goes, "Oh, hey kid. Oh, your face is looking a little bit better now, at least."
Oh, and he like reaches up, touches his face because he already kind of forgot, and like touches. Like, oh, uh, thank you, Mr. Briston. He kind of like looks left and right, and he says, uh, can we talk?
Oh yeah, of course, that's what I'm here for.
Um, like he looks around again. Is it okay if we talk
You
here, or should we? Can can we?
Yeah, where else would we talk?
Uh, okay, right. And is there a chair? Because like he'll sit in the chair, and, like
Oh yeah.
scooch
Yeah.
all the way up to the desk. Um, Mr. Smokey got your message, but he didn't know that it was you because he never put your number in his phone. But then he showed it to me, and I told him, I said
And at
that's
that,
you. And
as soon as you say Mr. Smokey got your text, he reaches over and like puts his hand on your forearm and like gives you just a little bit of pressure.
like he
And he
looks
goes,
around again.
he's like, I pretty sure I told Mr. MacManus that uh my text said that you did not have to come in for a debrief right now because everything was square. I did not text him anything else, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. Because we got our rep and everything. And then he kind of like looks again, like over his left shoulder. Um, and then he kind of leans forward a little bit and he goes, "What? What's going on?" Um,
At that point, he actually reaches over and holds the power button down on the tablet, and turns it off. And just because and he's like low tone now at this point. The organization did a little bit of adjustment and uh and upkeep on your suits after your last run.
oh, thank
When
you.
they do
Okay.
that, they do. Yeah. When they do that, they do a complete download of all information currently stored in the system. That includes any telemetry data, any warnings or anything like that might give them more information as to what is out in the ether at the moment, as well as any audio and video data that might currently be stored in the system.
Huxley's getting progressively whiter as this conversation is going on.
Now, as you know, because you signed the agreements, because your suits are technically property of the organization, they can do this at any point in time and do not have to give any forewarning to the runners underneath contract. And any data collected on a run using said suits belongs to the organization.
Okay. So, are we in trouble?
Have you been taken into custody at all yet?
He looks again. No.
Is there currently person of interest alerts out for the three of you?
I don't think so. And he like starts tapping on his watch.
So you don't. He just shakes his head at you.
I don't think so.
Then you're okay.
And he kind of leans forward again. He goes, "Well, what now?"
Now you go about your business.
Okay.
You do not worry about anything that's going on that doesn't immediately pertain to you, your family, or your job.
Okay. So okay.
Whatever the organization decides to do, if it doesn't affect you, do not worry about it. That's a lesson that you're going to have to learn.
Okay. Okay. Well, and what happens when they find Miss Marla? Did she do something wrong? I thought she just was, because Smokey, he's always over at the bar, and I think he's kind of sweet on her, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, is he gonna get in trouble? He didn't do anything, I don't think. I mean, he was with us, and we didn't do anything. I don't think we did anything. I mean, we
didn't do anything. You went on a run. It was not a sanctioned run, but there's nothing against the law on that. So you're fine. You went on a run. You came back. That is all.
Okay. Well, I'll let them know that everything is okay then. And he kind of like gives him a very comical wink.
I would suggest in the future that either you vent your contacts better or make sure that you actually take a look at all the data on your suit before you come back. Make sure that whatever you have on there is what you would like the organization to see.
Oh, okay. That's yeah. I didn't think about it because we came back and we were kind of in a. Okay, yep, it's fine. Like he starts to realize he's going down a road and he doesn't want to keep talking. Yep, okay, that's fine. I'll make sure I do that.
And
Thank
at
you.
that point, he kind of leans back a little bit and pats you on like the side of your arm. He's like, "All right, I'm," and now much louder, of course.
Right.
I'm
right.
glad that we could get that sorted out for you, and that everything is fine now.
Like it takes him a minute to catch up. Yes, thank you. We got our rep and everything, Mr. Briston. We appreciate it. We'll thank you. And like he just kind of like awkwardly stands and sort of like goes to shake his hand and like puts his hand down and then like kind of gives him the nod that the guys gave. And it kind of like turns and stands for a minute and then like quick walks out of the room.
And he's just like standing. He's now standing at his desk, like arms crossed, just watching you leave. That boy's not going to make it that long. Sits back down, turns his data pad on.
I think I would probably go to the bar. Like
Yeah.
they'll do all their stuff, but I think my thought would be to talk to Smokey since he's closer to Marla.
Yeah. All right. Let's go jump over to Zuchy then. We're gonna go Zuchy currently making here. So you're currently making your way from the building with Marla back over to Huxley's neighbor's house where Brock is currently resting up in a cot in the shed.
Okay. He's not really good at small talk, really, but he's kind of curious. He like turns to Marla as they're walking, or whatever, and he's like, I've been kind of curious. Why did you decide to break out and come here when you could have stayed where you were at and had all of the medicine that you could have for like staying alive?
Well, what do they call it now? The wanderlust. Every once in a while you just get kind of sick of seeing the same thing every single day.
I get that, but like the fact that I'm assuming that your medicine's not readily available for you, that you're
no
kind of taking a chance.
Yeah, that's true. The good thing is that they're good. They're understanding. Most of us do stay. It's safe, right? But they understand that some of us just need to do something else, and they do help us as much as possible. The medicine. If I'm back home, I don't need it. They just don't need it back there. And
I don't understand. What does that mean?
I don't know why, but back into Zane, you don't take it. It's only once you're out here, out, above ground, past the borders, that you're at risk. It's not necessary that it keeps me alive. It, theoretically I'd be fine without it. The people around me wouldn't, though. If I don't take it, then I'm at risk for becoming a beacon and letting it know that I'm here and that everybody around me is here.
So doesn't that just scare you that you're putting so many people's lives on the line?
Yeah.
And he thinks about it a little bit, and he has something, an idea in his head, and he's like, well, what if say I was able to find a way to get my brother back his faculties, would he be able to live into Zane?
I don't know, honestly. There have been a few people that I know of in the short time that I've been around that have come and lived into Zane that weren't originally from there. So I'm not going to say it's not impossible. I just don't necessarily know about, all the little hoops that you have to jump through and the ladders that you have to climb.
Well,
But
I'm pretty sure of doing both. So need be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you already got the in, you already got the code.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is true.
Yeah.
I just have to find a way to get my brother back to normal.
Well, I'm not sure now, but a lot of their research back there is about that, they're predeterminately, I don't want to say immune, but I mean, the whole point of Tazane is to fight against Anne and be resistant to the signal. So they might have research. They might know something that could help them.
Well, maybe if these fires that are kind of happening all over the place around us seem to go out, we can sneak out of here. Maybe I can take him over there and maybe see if they can do something for him.
If that's your plan, you all have been more than willing to help me. So I'll help you get him in there however I can. Whatever I can do.
I appreciate that.
It's the least I can do for you.
Oh, we're here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, I've run out of ideas. So I'm like, yeah,
right.
Here we are.
So yeah, going in, digital padlock on the shed, punching the number, open it up. And sure enough, he's Brock is on the cot. There's a little like fold out table. He's set up with the IV and all that kind of stuff. Super, there's no equipment that like would be in the hospital. It's almost like EMT equipment. Mm-hmm. But you have basic monitoring, IV, all that kind of anything that would at least basic minimum to know he's alive and being kept alive.
Okay. Yeah, so I basically kind of like go to him and I hold his hand and I go, "Hey, buddy, mm-hmm. It's me, your brother, just here with a friend. She's gonna come like hang out with you for a little bit while I figure out what we can do for you."
And she'll kind of lean over to you and say, "What's his name?"
His name is Brock.
And she'll go over and go, Hey, Brock, my name's Marla. I'm gonna be staying here with you for a minute. Just while your brother has some business to take care of, okay?" And she just kind of like looks back up to you.
Yeah. And he kind of like he kind of like strokes his hand a little bit and stares at him, stares into his eyes, and he's like, "Okay, Brock. Well, I'm gonna have to leave here for a little bit, but Marla's gonna take some good care of you, okay? And make sure that you're kind gentleman, because that's what we were raised up to be. So make sure that you welcome her with open arms, just like you would me."
All right, and you see Marla has that a kind of look, that combination of happiness and sadness. Like, it's very clear that you two had or have a very good relationship, and that in this. So and you actually see a not a release, but like a slight relaxation in Brock's body and face. Just ever so slight, that there's kind of like, a slightly deeper breath, and then like the shoulders just kind of relax back a little bit, and you see kind of like a couple of stress lines on the face. At least like the parts that aren't like currently slopped with medication and bandages, kind of just relax on him.
Mm-hmm. So when he notices that, he turns to Marla and he's like, "Well, you know what? I think he might like you." And he kind of giggles to himself and like, gives um gives Brock a little bit of a pat on the shoulder a little bit.
And say, right now I'm trying to figure out which one of you is the cuter one. So maybe hang back here for a little bit.
He kind of laughs and he's like, "Nope, Brock was always the good looking one. I'm just the shell he is." So,
well, we'll hang out right here for a little bit. You you boys take care of whatever you need to.
okay. Thank you so much for helping.
And thank you.
Yep. And he'll head out.
All right.
Did so just like out of game as a refresh, Miss Joanna gave him physical first aid.
Correct. Yeah.
We don't know whether or not he can or could be connected in some way. Like that was the risk, right?
That's what she did. Those first few hours of like invasive testing was not so much it wasn't first aid, really. That came afterwards.
Gotcha. Okay.
The first part was like testing his brain, seeing if there's any type of like
signal,
any signal connection or anything like that, testing brain waves and looking at like electro signals throughout the body and all that kind of stuff. So,
Gotcha. Okay. Now I remember. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
All right. So after after you close the shed, are you gonna put the lock back on?
Yeah. I think he would. But before he'd do that, I think he would peek in his head and just be like, just for your safety, I'm gonna make sure I lock this. Oh boy. But I think what he'll say is like, if anything were to happen, and he'll like give her like, does she have like any communication at all, like a phone or anything like that?
Yeah, she'll have a phone on her.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be like, and I'll give her my number. I'll just be like, if anything were to go wrong, just type SOS and I will be back.
Is this usually how you meet ladies?
And he like kind of like is taken aback by it because he's like, because even though he had that little tiff with that woman from LLI, like he doesn't really have running. He's basically kind of like, I don't even know what that looks like, and he kind of laughs. He's like, I'm not doing this to be mean. I'm doing this for your safety and for his.
I completely understand. Do not worry about it.
Okay. Do you need anything else? Do you need any food, water, anything? It looks like we've got some good stuff. Looks like we have some stuff here. But
you have a nice little stash.
All right. Just want to make sure.
I think Smokey might have taken those chips from my bar, but I'll let it go. It's fine.
Yeah, well, he can be like that.
He's a good boy, though.
Yeah, he is. And then he kind of tips his head. He says, "Ma'am," shuts the door, and then he'll lock it.
All right, and where's Zuchy heading to now?
I don't fucking know. Let's see.
Just wander around town.
Yeah, he'd just be like, ponder. You know what? I think he would be concerned, even though he would most of the time be concerned about Huxley. He feels like Huxley is more safe than Smokey, so he would probably go find Smokey first. Sounds
good. Yeah. I mean, Huxley is like, as far as Zuchy knows, Huxley is in the barracks talking to Briston, hanging out there.
Yeah.
Probably going to go check on the suits afterwards.
Yeah.
Like he's just going to kind of hang out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And Smokey. So you've making your way back to the bar at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you as you're kind of walking and the bar comes into play, you see it looks almost the same as it did before. Front door bashed in, glass in the front windows smashed. They have tape up, like the caution tape up over the windows, crossed out over the door. And there are two of the security guards, one standing at the door and then one standing probably about like 6 or 8 feet away, more towards the corner of the building, just kind of leaning up against it, and they're kind of just talking to each other pretty nonchalant.
So these were the ones that busted in and were looking, or are these different ones?
These are the guys that the group that busted in at first was like full riot gear, riot shield, helmets, arm, like bulletproof armor, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
These are like 2 guys in yellow polos with some BDUs, and they do have like a rifle slung over their back, and like almost like the quarterback had like they'll keep like their plays written on their forearm. It's like they have like a wrist cuff, but like it's clear that like a phone sits in that, so they have like the data, like a little phone right on their wrist. But yeah, these aren't the riot guys, at least not, they don't look the same as the guys that busted in before.
Okay. So if that's the case, Smokey's gonna just kind of stroll up to the door. He's just gonna act like he's supposed to be there and kind of walk towards the door towards them.
And yeah, as you start to get up, like they're just talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so then I saw the guy with that had been trading bogus parts. And so I said, and then as they see you, and he's like, they immediately straighten up and like take the rifles and like hold them at attention. And he's like, whoa. Can I help you?
I need a drink. I don't know if you guys need a drink, but I'm going to go in and grab a drink. And
We're on due, but you see the place is shut down, right? It's pretty clear. It's tape up, windows bashed in. No drinks going on here, buddy.
Well, so then Smokey will kind of look at his wrist like he's mimicking, looking at a watch.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there is some kind of, digital display that shows the time on it.
Yeah.
And just say, this is normally my time to decompress and unwind and grab a drink. So, he'll peek around and look at all the smashed windows and all that kind of stuff and say, it looks a little worse for wear, but, duty calls and I have an appointment. So as I said, if you guys want a drink, it's on me. If not, I'll put it on your tab, and next time you come in off of duty, you can grab a drink.
Well, listen,
And
unfortunately, you're gonna have to
head towards the door.
They will at this point, like the one guy will stand actively right in front, and the other dude will get a little bit closer to him now, and be like, "You're gonna have to find a new place to drink then. Like, at least for the time being, this place is closed down."
So then Smokey will stop and kind of look in both of their faces. How old are they? What age are these two?
One of the dudes, the guy that you're face to face with, probably mid to late 20s.
Okay.
The other guy, probably early 40s.
Do I know them? Have I seen them around? Is there?
No, both of them, cops all look the same. Like,
yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, I didn't know.
Just another dude in a suit.
I haven't had a run-in with them before.
Right. Yes. Yep.
So Smokey will stop and look at him, and then he'll pull out a cigarette and light it. And while he's lighting it, he'll say, I don't recognize you two. I don't know how long you guys have been around, but I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Places like this, he'll point to the bar, they're kind of a safety valve for keeping shit under control. Now, as we can tell from looking at it, it looks like stuff got out of control a little bit, but a few broken windows and chairs smashed over, a couple drunk guys. That's kind of letting off the steam when stuff starts getting a bit down or getting a bit miserable. So, people come here to escape, and, Smokey will wave his arm around, all the shit we normally go through. So unless you two want to be really, really busy in the near future, running around chasing people who aren't chasing people who haven't found a way to mellow out a bit, I would suggest that this place needs to be opened to make sure that things don't get out of hand, and you guys are working a lot of overtime hours. And from what I've seen, overtime isn't time and a half. So I think you may want to rethink keeping this place closed.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a charm test? And we're going to make this one opposed to their psyche.
Okay.
Yeah. And any kind of training or traits or anything that you have that.
Not on charm.
No. What do we got?
Be a shame if somebody got blown up around here.
I can charm them that way.
I have Smokey as a talker.
Yeah, I guess that would be charm then. I was looking at the
That
brains.
absolutely would be charm, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's Kevin, not Smokey. Got him.
All right. So my roll, I have a 5. So you're gonna have to beat a 5.
I got a 5.
Oh,
yes, but.
yes, but. All right. So the younger kid starts to like stiffen up, and he's like starting to get like shoulders back and everything, and you see his finger is like slow. He's proper firearm safety right now, but you see that he's like slowly starting to move the finger when the older guy kind of reaches over and puts a hand on his shoulder and looks at you and says, you willing to put the work into this to clean it up?
Yes, but work and play don't always have to be separated. So I'll make sure I kind of enjoy myself doing it. And that, he'll kick some of the glass that's on the ground.
And he kind of looks, he goes, all right, here's the deal. We're gonna let you in. You want to clean this up? It's fine. This place can be yours. I don't think the lady's gonna be coming back for it anymore. But what I'm gonna do is I'll put in a good word for you. Make sure that the license goes through, that this is all you. But I'm gonna come in here every week or so. All right. And as long as there's something waiting for me, and he kind of like, rubs his fingers together, like a little bit of money there. So this is something waiting for me, then you're good. How's that sound?
So normally, I think Smokey is of the temperament that he would grab the guy by the collar and slam some blast paste onto his, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He doesn't like to be. Smokey knows how the world works, right? So it's not like he's against this kind of thing. But I think Smokey's just, with everything that's gone on the past day or so, Smokey's kind of a bit frazzled and doesn't want to put up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So he'll put on a very big smile and, try to be as friendly looking and accommodating as he can.
Yep.
And say, look, buddy, I wasn't going to, I already got a job. I wasn't looking to add another job on top of that. But as I said, this place is kind of important. You two obviously are important to the fabric of the town. So let me go and get this place cleaned up, and I will see you guys in a week. And he'll start walking for the door.
All right. And the young kid kind of looks at him and he shakes his head at him and then kind of like puts his arm around him and starts walking. He's like, let's go ahead and take a snack break.
So before they leave, Smokey will make his way in and just grab a bottle from the bar, just whatever, making sure it's not a really, really good bottle, and just say, hey, before you guys go, and he'll, chuck a bottle to them.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll grab it and kind of like tuck it in the back of his pants and then like tuck his shirt in over it and gives you a nod. He's like, I look forward to the business.
And
might have just found myself a new place to hang out.
Smokey will give him a wink and say, give me a day or so to clean up, and it'll be back to better than it was before.
Like, take as much time as you need, as long as it's less than a week.
I'm a fast worker.
And they'll go on their snack break.
They're taking their snack break away from the bar, right?
Yes.
Or
Yep.
Is this the moment that
Yeah, so
Huxley comes
they-
running up? Mr. Smokey's Mr. Smokey.
Right.
So Smokey will look at Huxley and say, the three of us are gonna need to have a talk about whether we want some extra income streams coming in and how much free time we have on our hands for that. But before we get to that, tell me what Briston had to say. And Smokey will walk in behind the bar and kind of start looking for the package that was left behind. And if Smokey starts talking, he'll do the pop his head up and say, yeah, shake his head and, look around for the package. Smokey's listening, but he's
Yeah.
more importantly, he's, he wants to find this, stupid thing so he can get it back to her.
If the guards don't come in, he's like, I told Mr. Briston that you didn't know it was his number, but I mean, it doesn't matter. But when I told him that we got the message, he got kind of weird and like he grabbed my arm, and then he told me not to worry about anything. And I didn't. They downloaded all the information from the suits, Mr. Smokey. They know where we went to. I didn't clean the suits or anything before. We didn't know. I didn't know that we weren't supposed to go there. Because everything we did for the organization. So why would I take the thing? And then he said, if we go somewhere to just leave the stuff that we only want them to know. I don't what?
I love the image of like Huxley is just talking and Smokey like pops up from behind the bar to like say something, and then Hux keep talking. He's like, go back down, pops back up, and nope, goes back down.
So I'll keep shuffling stuff around and looking and keep popping up, and I'll let Huxley finish and just say, look, I don't think there's anything in any of the rules that says we can't make some money on the side. So if it comes out that we were, if we get in trouble for taking some extra work, then we'll apologize profusely and say we won't do it again and we'll be good boys. But I don't think we have anything to worry about. Briston seems to have our back a bit. And, we tend to get out of any kind of sticky situation we get in, and, I'll slap him on the shoulder and just say, I wouldn't worry about that. Let's just take one thing at a time.
Well, I mean, he said that we could take other work, but maybe they knew about Tizane because then they came to look for Marla, and I asked him if we were in trouble, and he said no, but he asked if anybody was looking out for us, and I said I wasn't sure, and then I looked on my phone and I didn't see anything that like there was a warrant for us or anything, and like nobody grabbed us or anything, but she's in a lot of trouble. But he didn't really say what was going on. He said not to worry about it. But like he leans in real close, even though nobody's in the bar. She's with us. We have her. She's with Brock right now. What are we supposed to do? We're gonna get in a lot of trouble, Mr. Smokey.
And we'll say at that point, Zuchy, you kind of come up to the bar and you can see Huxley and Smokey inside.
Huxley jumps like 3 feet when the door opens.
There's no door.
Well, and here's a crunch of the glass. She almost gave me a heart attack.
Zuchy walking on broken glass.
Yeah. Hux, you're talking about 90 miles an hour. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. Keep going so crazy.
Come here.
Okay. Calm down.
And he tells the whole thing all over again.
Oh no!
Yep.
the same. He hits the same points that he told Smokey.
Yeah.
He kind of thinks a little bit, and he's like, I almost wonder if. Oh God, I forgot his name already. What's the guy that we checked in with? I'm sorry, Briston. I wonder, if Briston doesn't have a problem with it, I wonder if he not only knows about it, he could be one of them as well.
I would say, to your point, Huxley, I don't think Tizane is a secret, right? It's not like something that big or what it does. Doesn't
Yeah,
need
but
some.
why is Marla being targeted then?
Well, so real quick, I know it was a while ago. So real quick, if you recall, when you first got the mission to go to Dazane, it was a black spot on the map. There was
Okay. Never mind
no
then.
information about it. It was like a literal dead zone of any information. The
Okay.
only reason you know how to get there is
It was 'cause of
because
Marla.
Marla literally gave you like a GPS pin drop.
Okay, so Smokey will say, as we said before when we did the other run, we found some information. Information's always powerful or profitable. So we, I guess me more than you guys, but I kind of looped you into that, so I apologize. I think it's more on me that I got us into this, but we've brought back information that nobody else had. So how it's used or the value of that information, I don't think we'll be getting too much rep from this providing this information. It may just save us from getting in trouble, but it's always good to trade what you know for something you can get back.
But we also have to be careful now that place is known, because we're the ones that made it known.
They're going to get super mad at us. And he said they downloaded all the camera stuff too. I mean, they're going to see everything that we saw.
Well, we have two ways to play this. Either they can see us as very helpful because we really don't, and we don't owe anything to them, to Zane. So we may be valuable to everyone here for the information we have or what we know or what we did. Or if Tizane is mad at us, then we have the crew here to fall back on. Or if everybody here is mad at us, then we know how to get to Tizane. So there's always options.
Oh, I don't like it. I think, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get in so much trouble. Miss Joanna's gonna be so mad at me.
My guess is if we were going to get in trouble, we'd be in trouble already.
Yeah, I think if we had crossed some kind of line that was uncrossable, we wouldn't be here talking. I know there's some rough and tumble that happened around the edges, but we'll need to figure out where that was coming from. But right now, Briston said everything's fine, so let's just go on and act like everything is fine. Other than the fact that we have Zuchy's brother and Marla in a shed somewhere, let's just pretend that that's normal for the time being.
I think Huxley just starts pacing
we can
around
try
the
to
bar.
figure out. Yeah.
Zuchy grabs Huxley and like squares him up and kind of looks at him in the eye, and he says, Hux, it's fine. If it wasn't for what happened, I would have never found my brother.
I mean, I guess. How's he do? Is he okay?
And
is
he
the
like
same?
and he kind of like gives like a real like hearty smile. He says, I got a small but definitive reaction from my brother when I was talking to him last time.
You did?
I did.
Well, that's good. How long was he out there? Because you've been here for a long time. I mean, as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I to tell you the truth, I've lost time. I don't even know how long it's been since I've seen him.
Well, I mean, that's good. Maybe he'll get better.
I hope so. See, not everything that, even when you're in a situation where a lot of things can go bad, it doesn't mean that there's not good in it. So you don't need to fret too much. And you know what? Even if you were to get in trouble from your mom, you know what? She loves you. She will forgive you no matter what you do.
I don't know if she won't forgive you guys though.
Well,
Let us
I don't
worry
think
about
she-
that.
I think we're kind of low on the totem pole when it comes to your mother. So you know what? We're not looking for brownie points here, unfortunately.
We'll take the heat.
All right, if you guys say so. Well, I mean, what do we do? I mean, we can't go on. I mean, if she's in the shed, like she's got to like get food and go to the bathroom. Like we can't like leave for a run, right? I mean, we can't be gone for like a week. What are we supposed to do?
Well, I think I'm guessing that we should probably lay low for a bit, anyways, unless something comes directly to us for a run. I think we've got some stuff in the bank to get us by, so I don't think we'll be scraping. And Smokey will look around and say, "We've got free booze and snacks if we need it. So why don't we grab a broom and start sweeping up?" We
Before you start doing that, he looks to Hux and Smokey and says, "Well, another thing is I talked to Marla, and Marla thought that there might be a possibility that if I take my brother to Zane, they might be able to do something for him."
Oh yeah. Well, they won't make him a clone, will they?
I mean,
That would be weird, right?
Yeah, it would be weird. It would be, but you know what? If I were to have to take the payment of making him a clone so we could help the real Brock, I would do it.
Let's just not jump to any conclusions. We got to get some more information out of Marla. But I would say all options are on the table, especially when it comes to Brock. I think we'll do everything we can to see that he gets better, no matter where that leads us. And so Smokey will still be rooting around. Has Smokey found the package?
Yeah, you found pretty much. You have like your huzzah moment at there because there's like a lot of debris and stuff was kind of banged into, and they weren't looking for things; they were looking for Marla. So you finally find it's still in the box, right?
Okay.
And it's like in the corner, like they had done like an arm sweep just looking for anything under there, and it had gone like tossed off to the side underneath a bunch of debris, smashed bottles and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, you're able to finally find it.
And I'll hold it up and kind of shake it and say, I definitely think we'll get some answers and the truth out of Marla, because I don't think she has much of a choice. Now that may seem kind of cruel, but if it helps Brock and it gets us out of hot water, then I think we're holding all the cards when it comes to Marla at the moment. At least and then he'll mumble under his breath. At least I hope so.
Yeah, and she has no reason to do otherwise, really. She seems like a good person, even if she's worked with some shady characters. She seems like she actually is on the up and up as far as I've seen, but I could be wrong.
And I'll point to Zuchy and I'll say, you two are working with a shady character too. So there's a lot of us.
I look offended. I'm like, what?
And Smokey will start laughing. I think, yeah. So if I have the package, Smokey will be happy with that. And so it seems like we're now the owners of this bar. Let me go talk to Marla and see how that goes over. And even if this is something we want to be a part of, there are three of us. So we'll see if this is something we want to take on or if this is something we want to leave behind. But at the moment, we're in the bar business, and Smokey will just grab a beer and start drinking.
Bar runners, bar rescue, runners
Bar
edition.
rescue.
Yeah. But first we have to have our cleaning montage.
I was going to say, Jesse, you
in
want
front of the other. Go
you want to rewrite some of the stuff that now this turns into how to run a bar.
Right, yeah.
Going out on
This
the
is a
road.
whole new game now.
And this is how I met your mother.
If we rip all this out here and get some nice marble and some wood finish over here in the corner.
So I Smokey's thinking, he's found the package, right? So he's going to go talk to Marla. But I think if we're just the three of us are in there, if we're just chatting, I don't think there's anything else Smokey needs to bring up. We'll do what we need to do for Brock. We'll do what we need to do for us. And if we're just making small talk and, just kind of cleaning stuff up and,
Yep.
he'll look for, some poster board and a marker and just say, under new management.
I assure you we're open.
Exactly.
I'll stand outside.
You get the twirly thing and spin it around like those guys do. Yeah, I don't know if we want anybody coming in yet, right? Because we've got some shit to take care of. But yeah, I'll just under new management, soft opening soon or something. Just put it on the door. We don't want, we're talking about some stuff we don't want anybody overhearing, right? And a bar brings people, so it's not a very safe place to chat.
Does any other guard come by when they hear the commotion, or are these guys specifically assigned here so like nobody's going to bother us? Or
nobody else has come by since you guys have been here, so
okay.
Yeah, so let's leave if it's disheveled looking outside, let's leave that, right? Let's just clean up a bit inside, while we're just talking and going
just
through
so
all
it looks
this.
like you did some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just leave everything.
Huxley's working. He's got a lot of nervous energy.
Huxley is legit cleaning now.
Let's leave all the mess outside just to detract people from, coming in. Because I'm sure word got around that something happened, but let's make it look a bit rough and tumble outside so no one comes up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, if the guards are going to be there, where'd they go? They left when I came in. I thought you were going to get in trouble because, they had guns and everything, and I don't know. They kicked the door down.
This is part of the shady stuff I was talking about. I think they'll leave us be for a while. Now, whether we want that or we want it to continue is something we'll have to talk about later, but we shouldn't be having any trouble from them for the time being.
Okay.
And I think, unless anyone else has anything that they want to bring up, or the stuff we were talking over Brock and to Zane and the suits, I think if we get everything sorted, Smokey is going to go back and talk to Marla and take the package to her.
Ooh, before, just meta question. Do you tell us what Marla said about Zane fighting against Anne? Or do you not, or does it not cross your mind?
I probably would have when I talked about Brock and making him well and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because like I wouldn't because I'm dumb, but Zuchy probably would.
Okay. Well, because it colors the way any future interactions with the organization may be, right? Like then they're a potential ally in this scenario. Not that you can necessarily fight back. It's like a worldwide evil AI network, and we're just like 100,000 people in Idaho or whatever.
Yeah.
But Ingram's probably like, you're a big null and you're probably like 180 something people. Like,
no, 180. Okay. Yeah. So, but still, like, if they were to come down on us or what, I don't know. Whatever.
before Smokey goes and talks to Marla, I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna go run real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So I was just saying, unless there was something else, I do want to go talk to Marla and give the package, but I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. Well, do you think, Mr. Zuchy, if they're like fighting against Anne, is that like, maybe the organization would want to like talk to them, maybe like, because we just got back and like they went right after Miss Marla, and how did they process all that stuff? Still, there was a lot of footage. There was a lot of. It's also fast.
Well, from what I know about groups, politics, and stuff like that, there's probably one of the hand that wants to work with Tizane and to make it a better place to fight against Anne. And there's probably the other hand that's scared about what's happening, scared about the clones, and they probably want to shut it down.
They did try to kill us. Those two guys tried to kill us.
Yeah. So it's really hard to know who's on what side. It seems to me that God damn it, what's that guy's name again? You were just talking
Briston.
to. Thank you, Briston. God, why can't I'm gonna write that down. I know it's on here somewhere, but
top of every page.
Briston. I'm gonna look like a crazy person. Briston all over my paper. Makes me double. Anyway, yeah. To me, it sounds like Briston is on the side that we want him to be, but with his secrecy, it seems to me that he is on the short side of the stick when it comes to who's for this and who's against it. So my guess are there a select few there that are willing to be to help and to work with Tizane, possibly, but they probably don't know how to go about it because the company as a whole is probably not for it. But that's just me just assuming.
Well, and it's far too, and they had the gun set up. If you didn't have the code, no one could actually like make it, right? It'd be real bad.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene. I will not lie to you, Huxley. I'm kind of scared myself to try to what's going on here. It's hard to know who's your friend and who's your enemy.
While they're talking, Smokey's gonna send a message to Briston. Just type a message. Just say, how jammed up are we, and have we jammed you up? Just to see what his reply is.
You see the three dots pop up after a few moments, and he just texts back, all good, just stay low.
Okay.
Grand opening Wednesday.
All right. Smokey's Tavern.
So I'll, once I get that message back, I'll say, I think as long as we don't rock too many boats and we keep Marla under wraps, I think we'll be all right for the moment.
I didn't tell him that. You just fucked up. Oh no. How long do those three dots stay three dots for?
What do you mean?
No, he did say no, we're good. He said just lay low.
So were you saying that you texted him and say as long as we keep Marla under wraps, or was that
Oh
more
no,
of
he's
a
talking to you guys.
No, I'm talking
Okay,
to you,
okay,
Charlotte.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I was like, oh no.
No, I'm not gonna give any more information than we have to, and I don't think Briston would want too much information, right?
Yeah. Okay, I
Right?
misunderstood. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I'm saying, yeah, if the three of us keep our heads down, it's interesting what Marla said about Brock. So that's something we'll have to talk over and plan and discuss the logistics of. But maybe let's not take any jobs unless we're forced to for the moment. And let's just try to keep it cool and play it cool. Not let anybody else know what the three of us know.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys know best, so.
No, we don't know best, but we've made it this far, so we've been doing all right. So
All right,
Smokey,
so you guys
sorry,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just
No,
gonna
you
say Smokey would want to go talk to Marla, but I didn't want to
Yeah.
derail anything else that you wanted us to do.
Do we all
No,
go
yeah, so I was
together?
saying you guys kind of finish Smokey and Zuchy finish mock cleaning, and I'm assuming Huxley does some more literal, like legit cleaning.
Oh yeah, like half the bar is all fucking reorganized, all the glasses up off the floor, set all the chairs back up.
Yep.
So Smokey would want to go talk to Marla by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. So he would just say, I want to get some answers from Marla, and I don't know if she'd be more comfortable with just me being there. I'm not saying you guys would make her uncomfortable, but I want to get some answers. I want to find out what the hell's going on. So what time of day is it? I'm trying to remember what we said last time when we went. Was it
At this
early
point, it's like evening time.
Okay.
So.
I was gonna say, because I thought it was like late morning, early afternoon when this all started. Okay. So I'm gonna go talk to Marla. I'm gonna give her a package. I don't know. She said she needs it. I just don't know if it's within days or with hours. So I'll go give her package.
I think it was like 18 hours we had left or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find out some more information. You guys are welcome to hang out in our bar if you want, but I don't know what else you guys want to do. But yeah, let me go talk to Marla and get some answers and see if it points us in a direction moving forward.
I mean, if Zuchy stays, then Huxley would be happy to clean. If you have other stuff that you want to go do, then he'd probably go home for dinner.
Okay. Yeah, I think Zuchy would probably go back to the barracks to rest a little bit. Because even though he's all about training and stuff like that, he also knows when he needs rest as well. So he'll probably just go back to the barracks and get off his feet for a little bit.
It's been a long few days.
Yeah.
I go home then.
That again.
Make sure you guys lock up when you leave.
But there's no door, Mr. Smokey.
I know, I'm just kidding, Huxley.
All right. So yeah, Smokey then Zuchy goes back to the barracks. Huxley goes and I'm assuming probably starts cooking dinner.
If Miss Joanna's not home, yeah, probably, sure.
Yeah. All right. And Smokey heads over to the shed. So what's going on over at the shed right now?
So when I go in, I'm assuming either if there's a key or whatever the combination is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Zuchy or Smokey asked before he left. Just I don't have to go back to the barracks now unless there's a narrative reason for me to go back to the barracks and get it. So he'll walk.
You have to text. You're like, and you have to text Zuchy. What the fuck's the code again? It's like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I'll be careful. I'll look around, make sure there's nothing going on. But I'll go in, and once I go in, if Marla's there, I'll kind of just like nonchalantly, throw her the package.
Yeah. And she'll look at you and she's like, my savior. And I mean, like, there's like a little, she slides like a little lid on the top where there's a thumbprint reader where she puts her thumb down. You hear kind of like the of it unlock, and then she slides out the main compartment, and there's basically like a little injector with a vial, and she, like Star Trek style, takes it and just goes against her neck.
So I think we've got into a bit of a tight spot here. So where's the danger coming from? Who should we be looking out for? Should we be looking out for Tizane, or should we be looking out for everyone around here?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you have anything to worry about from Tizane. They pretty much stick to themselves. They don't send people out. People want to leave, that's fine, but even them, like I said, we have to hire runners to take care of deliveries and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
they're
How would
I'm pretty sure they're just going to kind of keep to themselves. I don't see why they wouldn't.
how would they feel that the fact that that everybody here, not everybody here, that the organization here now knows about them?
And at that point, she goes like white, but like flush in the cheeks. So you can definitely like see, for the most part, like the color drains from her. And she said, Smokey, what happened? And there's like a quiver in her voice.
Runners wear suits. Suits do lots of recording, and the organization owns the suits. And he kind of pulls out a cigarette and lights it and sits back on the chair and says, I don't mean to be kind of a jerk, but Tizane did invite us in, so they can't be too mad at me.
No,
we ended up going in.
They got in because you got in because of my coat. That's how it works. Yeah. And she's, well, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they know. I don't know what do they know? What do they know?
They know what we know because they got the information from the suits, and we were wearing the suits while we were there.
So is that why I'm? And she like just kind of gestures around to the shed. She says, "Is that why I'm here? Is that why I have to be here?"
You're here because someone bashed up the bar and obviously was looking for you. They weren't looking for me. They weren't looking for Huxley. They weren't looking for Zuchy. So they were looking for you.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's because of...
I've been in Ingram now for 7 years and I haven't had a problem.
Did anybody else know about you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we purposely, up until recently, we purposely do not come in contact with each other.
So the fact that they were coming for you, would that mean that someone looked through our information on the suit, and wanted to come nab you? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. There was a Jansen that was coming by more recently that said he just wanted to hang out, but I try to get him to stay away. But he would be pulled into this too if he talked. I don't know.
So Jansen is
I
someone
mean,
like you?
maybe like if they saw. Okay.
No, was Jansen someone like you, or was he someone from the organization?
He was one of us, yeah.
So maybe it wasn't us that blew up the spot. Maybe someone else was trying to. Maybe someone else got was using the information they had to try to get their necks out of something.
Maybe.
Now,
Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just really, really trying to give you the benefit of the doubt on this one.
And Smoke will start laughing and say, whatever happened here wasn't because of anything we did purposefully. We went on a run for you to help you. We didn't sell you out. We didn't give information to get something back. This all fell out because of the run we made to go get that package. So you can say if it was me or not. It may have been us, but it wasn't like we did it maliciously.
I know. I'm sorry. I know you wouldn't have done anything on purpose. I'm just trying to figure this out.
What you told Zuchy about his brother, is that true? Is it possible?
I don't know for sure, but I mean, that's what they do.
I don't think Smokey would go into detail about what they do or the effect, like you were saying. Are they going to turn Brock into a clone or whatever?
Yeah.
He'll just say, okay, if that's what they do. And I think he's thinking if there's hope for Brock, if there's something that we could, that would help Brock. Say, so would it just be us going up and knocking on the front door saying we brought someone that needs their help? Is there any other way that we could approach this?
Well, I mean, you have my code. So with that, you can get in and out whenever you want.
Okay, that's something I'm going to have to take back and talk to the guys about. If we go back and we take Brock, are you going to go back?
I don't really see how much of a choice I have at this point. I mean, and she like looks at Brock. She's like, I've got some pretty nice company right now, but I can't really see spending the rest of my life in here.
Yeah, about that. What's next? What are you going to do? We're not going to hold you here. It's not like, we brought you here just to keep you safe.
I mean, I guess I have two options. I can either go back to Tazane or I mean, I could go under the bridge. There's a lot of us that hang out around there. That's kind of a haven of sorts for us. So regardless, I guess the first step for me is just trying to figure out how I get out of here in the first place.
I think it would just be a matter of, how are you going to get to the bridge? You don't happen to have an extra suit lying around, do you?
And she waves the now empty vial at you. She says, one of the perks, I really don't have to worry too much about that.
Then I would say that you start planning for your next move because you're not going to want to be hanging out in this shed too much longer.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you and your friends can help me get out of here, I don't plan on really coming back, so you can have whatever I have left.
Yeah, about that.
I'm not going to really have much of a use for rep around here anymore. So
So
we
more than
talking-
just the bar if she's got rep. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask.
Mm.
So you're asking us to do a job. We get you out and we get your rep.
yeah, let's call it one last job for good old times.
Smokey will start laughing and say, well, I was going to do it for free, but since you offered and it's going to go to waste, then
Oh, well, in that case,
Smokey or Kevin's thinking of some devious things for Smokey to do. Not okay. That sounded really bad because I'm in here with Marla, but no, as a distraction and whatever.
yeah.
I'm just thinking if we need to loop anyone else in on it, or if it's just a job for Smokey. Okay, when do you think you'll be ready to go? I don't think you're going to want to be hanging out here, and the quicker you get away, the better.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll need an extra pair of clothes and maybe my toothbrush. And she just looks at you and she's like, whenever you can. I've got nothing but time on my hands right now, at least for the next 28 days or so.
Okay.
And she like checks at that point. She's actually like pulled her phone out and reset her timer.
Okay. I guess there's no time like the present. It's getting darker. Let me go see if I can scare up. I'm assuming some of your stuff is in the back of the bar. Let me go grab some of your clothes and stuff. Is there anything else specific that you want there? I can go grab them and bring them back to you.
No, I think I'll be fine. I had
Okay.
nothing really sentimental, so.
Okay, Smokey will stand up and say, okay, let me go scare up some of that stuff for you, and I'll be back. And when I'm back, that'll be be ready, because that'll be your chance to go.
Sounds good.
All right. Smokey will kind of nod his head and look over to Brock and just say, I have to talk to the guys, because I don't think, just like you staying in the shed isn't conducive to, yeah, I don't think we can keep Brock here much longer either. So I think the three of us have to come to the decision what we're going to do with him. So let's get you sorted and out the door. And then the three of us will see what we can do for Brock. And he'll, turn around and start walking towards the door.
All right. And yeah, she'll just kind of both hands on Brock's hand at this point and head down and just kind of rest there.
All right. Smokey has some plans. He's going to go, he's going to head back to the bar, grab some clothes and whatever for Marla, but let's wait for what Smokey's going to do right when we're ready to end, because it's a good way to go out.
Huxley, what you cooking for dinner?
What are my options? Do we have like livestock and stuff?
Little. There's like chickens. and pigs and things like that.
Yeah, probably like chicken and beans. Black beans. So like a blackened chicken with like red beans or something like that.
Oh, there you go. Why don't you give me a brains check?
The brains check? All right.
Yeah.
I think that's 3. Let me grab my sheet. I'm not prepared to roll dice.
Come on.
High as a 5.
Oh, not bad. Yeah, it's actually really good. This is one of your staple dishes.
Yeah, we can't do rice. We do a lot of legumes. Good protein.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Lentils,
a lot of legumes, a lot of potato,
cabbage,
beans work well. Yep. Yeah. And Miss Joanna does come home, and you've already got like everything going, ready to plate. It smells delicious, and yeah. So when she comes in, she goes like, "Oh well now, what the fuck was that? God damn." I'm stuck in between Zuchy and then our Deadlands game. I don't know why I'm like stuck in a southern drawl.
Yeah.
Need to pull that out. And so yeah, when she comes home, she's just like, "Well, now, Mr. Huxley, what have you done for yourself here?"
Oh, hey, Mom. Well, it was getting it was late, and you weren't home yet, and I know you worked all day, and I figured I'd just put something together. It's just chicken. I mean, it's nothing special.
I appreciate it. This is very nice. Thank you.
Sure. Have a seat. And like he busies himself, like making a plate for her, and pouring a glass of water or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, well, now, Huxley, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're trying to butter me up for something.
Like he doesn't like drop a pan, but like bangs it on the stove like harder than he wanted to. No, I mean, not really.
Have you been staying safe today? We got notices of all the people that they're looking for, and they were doing sweeps of the hospital and everything, and I know that you're back safe, and I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad that you at least have some people with you, and that you were able to just be in the building, be over there and just stay safe.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. I think we own the bar now, I think Mr. Smokey said.
And she at that point leans back in her chair and crosses her arms and said, "You own what?"
Marla's bar. I think she's the one that they're looking for.
I'm sorry, who's Marla?
The lady that they're looking for, Miss Marla.
And at that point, like now leaning on the table, and it's like, are you telling me that not only do you know one of the people that they were looking for, but that now somehow you own her bar? She owned a bar. Why are they looking for her if she owned a bar? Why were they looking for her if she owned a bar? And why do you own the bar?
I don't know. Like he puts his hands up. Mr.
How
Smokey
do you own
goes
a bar? You can't even drink.
Mom, and there's not really any laws anymore. I mean, I don't normally drink anything, but I mean,
I know you don't.
Like he waves his hands around like the world is over. I don't know. I went to go talk to Mr. Smokey, and he was at the bar, and he said that maybe we own it now, but I don't. He didn't really talk about it, so I'm not really sure. But he goes there all the time, and she lives here. I mean, she's.
Oh, of course,
here.
I bet he goes there all the time.
I mean, I guess he likes to drink. I don't know.
Huxley Peterson, you are not only are you not going into a bar, especially if it's a bar that Mr. MacManus is going to be in.
Like he hangs his
it's
head.
bad enough. It is bad enough that you got stuck with those two as your, like, air quotes, partners in this thing.
Mom, they're my friends.
Sure as hell, you are not going to be socializing with those two vagrants. They are not. They're, you know what? If they keep you safe, then that's fine when you are out there. When you are in here, I keep you safe. And I'm going to keep you safe by keeping you away from them.
Well, that's not fair. They're my friends.
They are old enough to be your dads.
Well, Mr.
You're not going to
Smokey's
be
old.
hanging around with them. They are not. They hang around in bar. They own a bar that fugitive used to own, and these are the people you want to hang around with.
But yeah.
Oh, good Lord. What have I done wrong that brought this?
Mom, we're friends. Like they look out for me and I look out for them, and we run and do things to keep people safe here. And
it's
not fair.
Business relationship. That is all.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Listen, I know this is the first time, and it might feel like they're your friends and that they're looking out for you, but they're just looking out for themselves. They need you. They need you just as much as you need them out there. But that is all. That's where it ends.
He screws up his face. He gets a real petulant look. Like he's like kind of leaning by the stove, like against the counter. Like he, gave her food and then, kind of went back. And like he takes the apron off and throws it on the counter. I'm going to my room.
An apron. Even better.
Uh-oh, his kiss the cook apron came off. He means business.
I'm going to my room. Stomp.
And she, like, at that point, like, pushes the plate away and sits back. And then reaches over and grabs a piece of chicken and eats it. Yeah, so like you go up to your room and like slam the door, and at that point, because the shed that Brock and Marla are in is your neighbor's shed. So from your bedroom window, you can actually see now Smokey leaving the shed.
So I think it's a shot of him like leaning up against the frame with the window closed.
Yep.
Looking down at him as he like backs out, turns, locks the thing, probably has a cigarette in his fingers, takes a puff, flicks the butt and kind of wanders away. And he's just like looking down at him, trying to figure out like what she's saying based on like my experience and like how those things conflict, and just kind of like watches him walk away.
Yeah.
I guess unless he looks up, if it's dark, right? The light's on, I don't know if
that is, yeah.
Smokey clocks it to like look up.
That's up to Smokey. The light is on. It is dusk. Well, actually, here's what's interesting, right? you're in a contained area, like there's no sky, right? So at this point they have like simulated light. They have a simulated day-night cycle. So the lights, like the environmental lights have faded to where it is like quote unquote nighttime. So Smokey would be able to see Huxley's light on in the house. If you cared so to see it.
Your Rage Against the
Well-
Machine playing, drifting out of the window.
Get some new metal going. Well, Smokey would know the shed and the relation of where it is to Huxley's place, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like
Okay.
it was Miss Joanna that made the suggestion
That's right. That's right.
of
To go there.
Yeah.
Okay. Smokey, if he sees the light, he'll send Huxley a message just saying, it's all good. Just stay inside tonight. Talk tomorrow.
You like get the notification that it was read, but I don't reply
Okay.
because I don't know what the hell's going on now. If you glance up, you could see me kind of like leaning against the the frame, sort of looking out.
Yeah.
But you might not. Like, you might just see the light and send the text.
Yeah, I would think Smokey has stuff on his mind to do, so he'll just,
Yeah.
he'll just tell Huxley, "Yep, stay low. Stay inside, and we'll meet back up tomorrow." Smiley face.
All right. What is Zuchy doing once he gets back to the barracks?
He's probably doing some meditation actually.
Yeah.
He he doesn't really know what's going on with everybody else, and it's not that he doesn't care. It's just he has to have a little bit of a decompress.
Yep.
So he'll probably just find his bunk and just fold his legs and just do some breathing exercises and just kind of think.
Sounds good. As you're there, it's probably been about, say, less than a half hour since you've been back there, and you're going to like starting to relax, feeling yourself kind of like zen out. And now the barracks area isn't huge, right? There's probably like 10 runners total, like based out of Ingram. So the barracks hold there's probably like 15, 16 bunks here. And there's a few runners in there right now, including yourself. And as you're kind of starting to get into that zone and finally starting to relax, you start to hear some chatter. And it's like happy surprise from a couple of the other runners. And it's like, hey, what the fuck? Like, you're back. That's great. Like, what's going on? What is going on? And they're like, you hear some elated talking going on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I don't care. I
Cool.
I keep meditating.
It sounds good. And we'll say probably well, go ahead and give me a what would it be? Let's call it health.
Okay.
Give me a health roll.
All right. I shall do so.
Meditation be psyche? You think?
This is something else.
Oh, okay.
I get kicked in the face. See what happens. That is a 5.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah. So you're able to I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you're going to actively attempt to rest in sleep, or if you want to keep yourself awake and wait to see what's happening.
Okay.
But you're in the position right now where you kind of have control over that.
Yeah. I think probably what it will be for me is I'm trying to think if he would, because he knows that he may still be talking to Smokey and Huxley before he turns in. So I don't know if he would actually go to bed yet. So he probably just sit there and just try to get the calmness to kind of calm my body down for when I do decide to turn in.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Yeah, and you see the group that was in there talking. They're in there for maybe a minute or so, maybe 2. When they're at one point, they're like, "Hey, you know what? Let's go celebrate. Let's get you a drink. We'll head down." And so they all kind of like are like, "Yeah, celebratory drunkenness," and they decide to leave and go down to the bar. And yeah, so you can kind of find your center and just relax now in quiet and alone.
Yeah, I will do that.
All right. Smokey, you're leaving the shed. You see Hux, you send him a message, tell him not to worry. Now what?
I'm going to head back to the bar and I'm going to, sorry, I didn't mean to clear my throat into the mic. I'll go and grab some stuff from Arla. Some clothes and stuff, chuck in a bag. And then I'll grab like another big carrying thing or whatever. And I'll just grab a bunch of bottles of whiskey and whatever and chuck that in, as many are in there. And then while I'm there, he'll set up some things around the bar. So he'll put some blast paste and some accelerants around the bar. And is it something that I can set off remotely?
Yeah. So if you're doing blast paste, then you know that there is it sets wet, and when it dries is when it becomes combustible.
Okay. So
you'll have in theory, like if I use this much or in this like configuration, then I have this much time.
Yeah, I want to get back to the shed before it goes off.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me a brains check so you're trying to set all of this up. I'm assuming you're looking to blow the bar up.
Yep.
All right. Is there any specific things that you're trying to destroy more? Like, are you trying to like get rid of evidence, or are you just trying to like blow the bar up?
I want it to blow up and catch on fire as a distraction to cause everybody to focus on that.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So go ahead and give me a brains with
Plus, he's
yes,
got
exactly.
demolitions. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Yep. With your former minor training. And you're trying to do this in kind of like not so much a destructive manner, but a boisterous manner. So let's go ahead. We'll call this a, let me look real quick. We'll call this a 5.
Okay.
Only because you are looking to, if you
Yeah.
were just trying to blow it up, that's one thing, but you're trying to blow it up with a purpose
Yeah.
in this instance. So yeah, we'll call it a 5.
Yeah. I want it to be nice and bright and loud. And
Exactly. You want it to be bright, you want it to be hard to put out, you want it to last long. So
6.
that's a
Even with the
yes.
+2.
Right there. Look at that. All right.
So,
Yeah, and also you'll be able to clump the blast paste in a way that it will last long enough for you to kind of get away.
yeah, I just want to get back to Marla before it goes. So
Exactly, yeah. All right. Yeah, so you're not quite back to the shed. You're probably like less than a half a block away, like a 40, like, so say it takes like a 5-minute walk to get from the bar to the shed. And you're like 4 minutes away from the bar when it goes off. So you're like 45 seconds away from the shed. So you're far enough away that you're like, obviously you can't feel the heat or anything like that, and you're not even close to the bar. So
so
yeah.
Smokey will scream shit and start running to get to the bar. Or get to the bar, Jesus, to the shed.
Yeah.
And
My investment.
we got a rep though, so don't worry, Huxley. Bars are
All
sunk
right, so
cost.
yeah, you hustle over to the bar. I mean, over to the shed.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
assuming
get in.
unlock it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'll set the box because I did make sure I grabbed a bunch of whiskey before I left. So I'll
Yeah.
set that down. I'll throw the bag with Marla's clothes to her and just say, I never wanted to run a bar. I just wanted to go to a bar. And then, I'll tell her, now's your chance. Make a break for it.
And she steps out of the shed and she can see, it's lighting up everything in the and she goes, "Holy shit, Smokey, what did you do?"
I told you all the security guys said it was my bar now since you weren't here, and I don't want to own a bar, and you need to get away. Ergo distraction. And he'll
All
do
right,
like
yeah,
a
that's
fake.
great.
He'll do a fake bow.
Yeah. Where do I go?
Thought you said you were going to go to the bridge.
Yeah. How? Smokey, how do I get out of here without being seen?
That's what the distraction's for. Everybody's going to go to the bar.
I'm assuming they have, do they have guards at the, I've never tried to leave here before. Do they have, how do I get out?
So yeah, he'll kick the bottle of whiskey, all the whiskey bottles, and just go, come on, follow me. And then I'll run to take her to somewhere she can get out. And
Well, you have. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. Well, where would you like to take her to get out?
I will send Briston a text and just say, ignore the fireworks. Can you open the front door?
And he sends you back 3 fire emojis, and then follows that up with, what the fuck did you do?
Trying to keep us all out of trouble.
And he just responds, you have a weird way of staying out of trouble.
I'll send a winky back. Winky face.
And we'll end it there.
Obviously, Smokey didn't think that all the way through. He was just thinking about the blowing of the up part.
Smokey didn't think something all the way through. What?
But I liked it better that way. It's better that way.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for checking it out. If you want to check out the MFG cast, we have a core noir campaign going on over there, along with a generic fantasy game. We just in real time wrapped up our current season. We're getting ready to start a new season next week. So
Yeah,
like
week
4
from
months
Tuesday.
from now. Check that out. We have our Patreon up. If you want to throw a couple of credits our way, that's cool. If not, whatever. Ratings and reviews on iTunes or whatever your podcatcher of choice, super helpful. If you're friends with fellow nerds, just recommend. If you enjoy it, tell a friend. Or don't. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're still gonna play games.
Spikecast,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. You guys got anything else?
Talking about that, starting up that new campaign for the fantasy game that we're playing. We'll actually be streaming it live now on our YouTube channel. So yeah, so a week from Tuesday, Jesse and John, and then a couple other people, John and Leslie, that you know from here, will be playing a game that I made up, and I'm going to call it Time After Time. So if you're interested in that, go to the MFG Cast YouTube channel. You'll find out exactly what that means.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
First one,
clip a little.
think of it.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper has got to be our intro music.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no
I'm sure
more
I
than,
can afford. I'm sure I can afford that. Yep.
well, like
Yeah.
28 seconds, right? It's fair
Yeah,
use.
exactly. It can't be 30 seconds. Yep.
Is that what it is? I didn't know that was the time.
Yeah. If you go to 30 seconds, you automatically get sued. So.
All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.